Welcome back, everybody. 2025. Finally got to the new year. Well, if you haven't seen from my thumbnail by now, we're going to bring this little girl back to life. If you guys see my last video, I had this running once already. It ran okay. It needs some work, but, well, Christmas has been good to me. Got me a lot of cool stuff, so we're going to go through it piece by piece that needs attention and take care of all that. And also, being a new year, we're gonna do some new stuff this year. So my name's Jeremy. Welcome to HP Small Engine. First, we're gonna start off, got some new rubber. And yes, a lot of people use these tires. Well, for the size tires this takes, that seems to be the most common tread pattern. I figured, what the heck. They look a little smaller than the stock ones, but they probably are, considering those things are so overinflated, it's ridiculous. You know, these are all weather checked. We gotta let it thaw out a little bit. That stinking thing over there hasn't worked for 2 weeks. Finally got it working tonight, so I figured, let's get some stuff around and start getting stuff going here. Let's see. My seat, if you guys have seen my seat, it needs attention. Got a new seat cover. I have never put one of these on, so we're going to see how bad I can butcher that. Fenders. I hit this with a torch. The camera doesn't justify, I know it looks dirty, but it doesn't justify how much better it looks than this right here. But, we'll get to that in just a minute. As you see, I have a gas tank sitting here. Now, here's the deal. I got this for a decent price. You cannot, I need this. It's broken. I need this piece right here because my other one just completely dissolved. Well, they wanted way too much for worse shape than that. Let's just say I got the gas tank and both of these for cheaper than just getting a pair of these. My goodness. Anyways, obviously it's blue. I have yellow ones. Now here's the deal. I'm going to finish hitting that with a torch. I'm going to pull the fender off and the headlight bezel. We're going to hit those with a torch. I'm going to hit this a little bit with a torch. See the cool lightning bolt? Yeah, that's going to have to be there permanently because I don't know how to get rid of it. But I'm going to take off the decal, sand everything down. I'm going to put plastic adhering primer and paint that. I'm going to paint all the plastics on this. I've seen people paint plastics before and it comes out terrible. Well, you know, I'm gonna try to do the best I can. I'm not trying to make it a showpiece. It just needs to look better than what it does. So that's what I'm gonna do. But anywho's, I need grips. I have grips right here. I'll put a new set of grips on this thing. And I've got all kinds of boxes of goodies over there still. I still got to clean the garage a little bit because we're not gonna talk about that just yet. But anyway, so like I said, I got some new toys and stuff I want to try out, some other things. So all right, let's get this garage organized and we'll start getting into this a little bit farther. There, that's a little bit better. So all this stuff here, not that, I got off eBay. This is new choke cable because if you guys didn't see before, this one's a little bit on the it's junk. It comes with all new plunger and stuff, new petcock, just because, well, I ordered this and then I ordered that. The petcock in this thing is junk. That one's probably good, but I have a new one anyways, so you know, new screen and stuff, which is probably not a bad idea. This came as a kit. These 2 jugs of oil, spark plug, and filter, which now I have. I probably will never have to change that again, but now I have my number for filter, which is good because I like keeping up on oil changes. And then I have a whole complete set brand new decals. I am very excited about that because I like decals. I like making stuff look good. Anyways, besides all that good stuff, this is what we're going to play with today. I have the Harbor Freight Special Ultrasonic Parts Cleaner, obviously, as you can read there. And cleaning powder. And my wife was nice enough to give me a measuring spoon. So let's get this out. We're gonna play with it for a minute and get the carburetor off of the three-wheeler, put it in there, and get her nice and clean. Now, if no one's ever seen or heard of an ultrasonic cleaner, let me kind of break it down what's going on here. So, obviously you have a timer and your temperature. You put water in this, and then add your cleaning solution. But what you do is, what it does is it vibrates the water at ultrasonic amounts of vibrations, and it will literally just make dirt come right off of things, especially when you heat it. So, like I said, what I want to do is put the carburetor in here, but I'm going to get water in this, get it heating up as I'm taking the carb off. That way it's ready to go when I'm ready to put the carb in there. So I'm going to get plugged in and all that stuff and get the carb off, and we'll jump back to where I'm putting the carb in. I don't think it turned out too bad. All that residue there is my RTV from when I did it last time. I did clean this once before, but I just wanted to make sure I got everything out. But yeah, it looks pretty much brand new on the inside. There was a lot of debris in the bottom of that when I first started it, but I'm gonna get this put back together, get it put back on. I'm gonna pick the back of this up, probably pull the back tires off, and then swap over, pull the front tire off, and then take a good look and see how everything's looking. Might change the oil while I'm sitting here, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I can't really put my phone on a stand anymore. My phone stand broke, so you're going to see a whole lot of me holding this till my camera shows up. But anyways, yep, we'll get these tires off this. I mean, the tread looks nice, but it really, I don't know, this one isn't too bad. I know this one's, yeah, here you can see a little bit better in there. She's splat. It's not that big a deal, but I got new tires for it, so why not? So after a few minutes of actually taking a minute to look at how this works out, before I put the carburetor on, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the old choke cable out. After I pull this off, after I pull this off, after I pull that off. And I'm going to pull the tank back off anyway, so that's somewhere in the midst of doing things, but this cable doesn't look bad. But the biggest issue is it's busted right there. And it's pretty stiff, and it was really cheap just to get a new cable instead of doing that. But what I didn't realize, there's no nut right there, you know. My brand new one did not come with a nut either. Great. So I gotta find one. That's alright. Back tires are off. Look at the little hubs. They're just little hubs. I was told that you can get Yamaha Banshee hubs that'll fit right on this. You go 4-bolt. You can run all kinds of 4-bolt tires, but I'm not really that worried about it. I don't plan on doing a whole lot of horsing around with this thing. Just play around with it a little bit. It'll be fun. But anyways, let's get continuing what I'm doing here. If anyone's never taken a front tire off of a three-wheeler or a bike before, you got this bolt right here. It goes all the way through to right here where there's supposed to be a pin, but there's not. But you take the nut off and then you ram the bolt through. And then obviously it's got drum brakes, which somewhere there should be a release on there. I'll see what it is. I'll figure it out, but I'm assuming I just unthread that, pop the cable out. Then that's good to go. And then the whole unit comes off and go from there. Yeah. So anyways, let me get this thing picked up in the front, so we can get that off of there, and then we'll pull the front tire off. Alright, as you can see, nuts off this side. Ow. Literally just pull it out. Pull it out. Okay, I need both hands, but you get the concept. Front tire. Yep, that easy. There's your whole hub assembly with your drum brake. Which I'm going to be taking a look at the brakes and stuff, so we'll set this over here with the rest of the goodies. Alright, now we're going to pull this front fender off, which from what I can tell, just a couple bolts. Yeah, one right there, and then one right there. We won't talk about the one that's gone. But we'll pop those 3 out and then see how this bezel comes off. I'm pretty sure it comes off. There should be, yep, whoop, you stay where you're told to be. Now, okay, I'm gonna get the set back down. But yeah, there's bolts right in there. If you can see the Phillips head one right there. I think there's only 2, but we'll find out. Phew. Now that's working good. It's getting warm in here. Got it. Oh, Malanta, that was a pain. You see, this is really cool. But to take this little guard off, you gotta pop the forks out so you can loosen it and slide it off. So instead I had to unbolt the dash, which wasn't as bad. The worst part was these 3 bolts. Let me show you why. See this hole right here? See that hole right there? Okay, let's mount this back up where it's supposed to be. Alright, now you see it. Now the light's right there, so you gotta right in there. Then you see that hole right there in the bottom? Yeah, that's right here. That goes right here where you can't line anything straight up to it, you know? Right? Yeah, It's alright. We got it though. That old nail needs to come off of there because yes. But you see how bad this plastic looks? Yeah, that's seen way too much sunlight. We actually have additives you put in the plastic for UV protection, but it's only good for like up to 7 years. Anywho's and stuff. It is naked. Don't look. Alright, maybe it's fine. Yep, I'm gonna go take about 3 hours to cool down because now I'm all worked up and warm. But anyways, besides that, now I can get to everything. I do see hydroid gear oil, SEA, words. Let's go see what I have real quick. I think I only have 80/90, which I'd rather have just what they ask for. 80/90, 80/90, 80/90, 80/90. Okay, I'll see if I can get some 80. If not, she'll just have some 80/90. It'll be alright. But we're gonna change that oil, and I think that's the only oil that needs changed. Either way, it's coming along. Alright. Alright, let's get the oil change in this old gal. So if I'm not mistaken, let's see, there's no oil plug underneath. It should be this right here. That right there should be what I need to take off. And then oil filter is right here. So I need to grab an Allen. It'll fit that. I love how it's 3 different size bolts. All same Allen size though. Anyways, I'll get the Allen to get that, get the socket to get the other side off, and we'll get the drain underneath there. Alright, first thing I'll do, just so it has a little bit of air ventilation. Leave that sitting right there, okay. I'll go to this side. Should have got that ready. Whoops. Now I'm assuming that's a 19 millimeter. Focus in there. But it's kind of boogered up, so 19 fits. It's just a little bit loose. Anyways, let's. Not round the bolt. Nope, I gotta get an 18 on there. Okay, let me grab an 18 real quick and we'll get back at that. Well, I end up having to grab an 18 and beating it on there just to get this thing to actually turn. But we do have movement. Focus. Woo. Anyways, just back it up. Alright. Oh my goodness, get off of there. Wow. There it is. Whew. I gotta see if I can find another one of those. That would probably be a good idea. Oil actually doesn't look terrible. It actually looks really good compared to what I was expecting, to be honest with you. Oh, O-ring. I grab that O-ring. Alright. What else we have in there? I think there's a screen. Well, there's a spring. Yep, with a screen on it. Okay. Here, we'll let that drain out. Cool. Alright, we'll let that drain, and I'm probably going to end up getting a new O-ring. I have, you know, all the O-rings over there, so I'm going to slide this over once that goes down a bit. If you didn't notice, I put a strap there. Kind of stabilize this thing a little bit more. It was getting sketchy for a minute. Plus, you know, I got a little guy that likes coming out and checking out stuff once in a while. I don't need him having a three-wheeler fall on him. That would hurt my conscience quite a bit. And him. Anyways, we'll slide this over now. Okay. Guess I'm gonna get a little bit of oil on that. Oh well. These are 5mm. So, or H5. At least that's what the socket is. H5. I think it's 5mm. Let me put two hands on this so we don't break it. Right. There, now they're loose. I didn't feel like trying to record that and having to put new bolts in there. Okay, breaking out. I don't think I've asked yet today, and if I did, I don't care. I'm asking again. How's everyone doing today? I try to do that every video because, you know, I'm thinking about you guys along with trying to think about this. Would you just get out of the way? Yeah. Alright. I gotta go to work tomorrow, so I'm trying to get this, at least get this oil changed in this and the rear end, so I can think about how I want to go about doing my other stuff on this. If no one's ever changed filters and stuff on ATVs like this is pretty basic stuff. An internal filter. That bolt, my gosh, did the drive shaft come off? That's a big one. Set you right there. At least you know you can't mix them up. If you do, I don't know what to tell you. I gotta get that out of the way. There we go. Alright, that should be, yep, that's it. That's loose. Big one on the bottom. Okay, now we'll pull this off. Should drip a little bit of oil. Alright, there's the filter. That looks quite dirty. That's not good. Alright, looks like there's a screen on the outside of it. Obviously it's quite fine. But alright, let's sit that down there. Let that drip. Alright. I'll let this drain and we'll get back to putting it back together. Alright, let's do a little side by side on my filters here. Okay, this is my new filter. You can see through it. It's pretty much just a screen. It's not actually a filter, but... And this is what came out of it. It is also just a screen. But you can see how dirty it is. I was kind of curious at first because I'm like, my goodness, this thing doesn't have much of a filter to it. Especially when you look inside, you can see right through it. But this has a lot more surface area. And I think it's a tighter mesh, which is good. This is a high flow filter. There's your part number if you happen to have a 225 DX or DR. I believe it's all the same, whatever, 225. It says it on the back right here, what numbers it fits. But anyways, that'll go in. I do have the plug back on the other side. Just so you guys can see it. The O-ring was better than I thought. I just cleaned it up, put it back on, but it's on there. I definitely have to find a plug because that's only going to come off a couple more times before it doesn't. Okay, so let's see. She's nice and dark in there. I don't see a whole lot of, oh, there's a bunch of goop right there. I should get that out. I'll get that cleaned up and then I'll put my filter back in and then we'll see how much oil this thing takes. So that's not looking very healthy. I don't know. Let me turn my flashlight on. There we go. Yeah, see all the sparkles? I'm assuming that's clutch material. And not knowing how long it's been since it's had an oil change, who knows how much, you know, how long that's been in there. But I'm going to take a little bit of brake cleaning, clean all that out and get all that out of there so it's nice and fresh and we'll know ahead of time what's going on. If I didn't show you guys yet, I picked up one of these sprayers. I've put brake clean in it, so that way I don't have to buy cans of aerosol brake clean all the time. Buy a gallon of it and use it for a while. There, that looks a little bit better. Yep. Okay. Make sure I get all that out of there. But yeah, let me go back over here. Just buy a whole gallon now. Only go through it like underwear around here. Okay, let's go back to me getting this cleaned up, put back together. So from what I found online, this is supposed to take 1.6 quarts or 1.514 liters. Well, since this conveniently is in liters, not in quarts, that's 1 liter I put in there. So now all I need to do is half of the next one, and then if you see here, that means I'll have to put it up to 500, just a little over 500 milliliters. So I'll get this filled up to that and then drop that in, then we'll check to make sure the oil level's correct. If you haven't seen me use this yet, that's pretty level and I can't hold anything still, so that's 500 milliliters, just over. You literally just take this and then you twist the bottom and it lets all the oil out. But I gotta do it two-handed, so I gotta set the phone back down, but it's pretty cool. There, bottom's open. Watch her go down. It is so nice having a measuring cup that you can make sure it's level, weigh the stuff up, or measure the stuff up, and then pour it in. Alright, I'll let this drip out, and then, let me turn that around. And then put the old dipstick back in there and see how it sits. Alright, dipstick is in. Let's pull it back out and see how it's sitting. Okay. If you can see it. Right on. Would you focus her? Right on the full mark. Yep. Okay. Now, let's move on to the rear end. I do not have the 80 weight, but 80-90 will work for now. I need to see where the plug is at and how to fill it. I'm assuming I don't have a clue, so I'll get back with you when I figure that out, but yep. Yep. Okay, figured it out. That's where you fill it. And right there is the drain. You can tell this hasn't been done in a while because this still had the original cap on the top to keep the dirt out. But it disintegrated literally as soon as I touched it. So I'm going to get this bottom cracked open, get this draining out, which it should drain because it has a vent on the top. And we'll go from there. Oh my goodness. Well, I got it to move. Finally. The stinking thing was on there so tight, it's a wonder it didn't break my ratchet trying to get it off of there. Alright, let's see if this will just twist out. I'm glad it didn't round. That would have been rough. And drop it. Ooh, yummy. That's probably original oil. I cracked this loose too just because I figured since I was working on it I might as well throw the old pipe and ratchet on there too. Alright, there's the top, that's the bottom. Top, bottom, remember that. Huh, that didn't take long. I don't see any shavings. It doesn't look too bad. Cool. Doesn't hold much at all according to what came out of it, but Phew. Alright, I'm going to get this top back off and put everything back together. Okay, full. Right to the top. It didn't take much. I mean, it is kind of a little rear end, so I guess that makes sense, but I was nervous. I was really nervous about getting those to come off, but we're all good now, so that works out. Alright. Okay. Sweet. Changed. Still haven't put the carburetor on it. Mainly because I'm waiting for the new choke cable, which that should be here eventually, I hope. Forgot to tell you, I put the grips on this thing. Yep. It looks a lot better than what it did. I know, because it didn't have any. Anyways, if you guys haven't seen any videos of this 3-wheeler yet, check out my video. It should be just before this one, when I first got it running. But, anyways, I'm going to call it for this video. We'll work on it a little bit more next week. I got to go to work. So, that kind of ruins the fun in the garage, but whatever. Yep, all the fluids changed. So, that's one step. Need to get some paint and some other stuff around and get ready to do the paint. It'll be blue. It's not going to be the same shade of blue, but it will be blue. So, hopefully you guys are around next week to watch this all over again. That'll be fun. Yeah. Alright, you guys have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next week.